So if you had some sort of practice that punished, didn't allow access to a bonus, or indirect is a little bit more of a nebulous concept to me.
Yeah. So that's where there's a provision, criterion, or practice that puts someone with a protected characteristic or a group with a protected characteristic at a particular disadvantage compared to those that don't have that protected characteristic. So that sounds like a bit of jargon, but essentially if an employer has a policy in place, and if you've got a certain protected characteristic from that list, you struggle to comply with it, or it's going to put you in financial hardship or something like that.
So this would be, you could, one of the common ones there is, for example, anything, and I know it's become its own characteristic too, but something that made life in the workplace more difficult for a part-time worker.
Yeah.
Strictly, and normally I think this remains the case, you're more likely to be a part-time worker if you are female.
Yeah.
So if you had some sort of practice that punished, didn't allow access to a bonus, or just made life more difficult for somebody who was more likely to work part-time, then that's likely to be indirectly discrimination against women.
Yeah, if they've got a policy of not providing bonuses to someone who works part-time or works less than a certain amount of hours a week, then that has the potential to be indirectly discriminatory against, as you say, women, because statistically part-time workers are more likely to be women. That's kind of similar to the case of Dobson, which one of the ones when you're studying. When I was studying,
go on, tell me about the case of Dobson.
Dobson against British Airways. So the employer imposed a change in schedules.
Right.
So a change in shift pattern. They required all of their workers, or all of their employees, to work evenings and weekends because they wanted flexibility from everyone.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Dobson brought a claim because she had childcare responsibilities, and finding childcare to fit with this new flexible schedule, it was going to be difficult for her. It also put her at an additional cost. So that was found to be indirectly discriminatory.
And because her. She indirectly, because in her position because women are more likely to have those childcare responsibilities still in. That remains the case in society, and because it did have that consequence on her.